Welcome back to Financial Independence 101. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about the dark side of clearance. Clearance has a dark side. There is a dark side to shopping on clearance. Now, obviously, I'm an advocate for shopping on clearance. I like a lot of things that I can buy on clearance. But I'm going to explain to you a few things, the good and the bad, the ugly. And this little article is kind of fun, talking about Walmart and some of the things that they do that is basically lying. But not really. We'll talk about this some more coming up. Now, first of all, I'm going to talk about the positives of clearance because obviously I'm not here to bash clearance, but it can be used wrong. It can be used inappropriately. Now, this is from my segment in Walmart where I went and looked at the markdowns and the sales and clearance stuff. But I was at a local, just a grocery store, not a Walmart and not really a big chain. And they had, for about 2 weeks, they had ribeye on sale. And they stepped it down from $9.99 to $6.99 to $4.99. And I probably got 15 pounds of $5 ribeye. My wife thought I was insane how much ribeye I put in that shopping cart. But I can't find it less than $12.99 right now. So $13 for a pound of ribeye now. But I was getting it for $5 a pound. So that's when clearance is good. When you know you're going to use it, when you know you're going to need it. Well, I need some ribeye. Here's one of those. This one my son found, and I just pulled a generic picture, but we were on a clearance aisle somewhere on a road trip, and he found paper towels for, I think it was 8 rolls for $3, and it was a good deal, and we got it. And it's months and months ago, and we're still using that supply. So that was a good deal. Stuff that you are going to use 100%. You know you need it. You know you're going to use it. Even if it's in bulk, it's a good deal. That's where clearance is good. That is the light side, the good side of clearance. All right, so we're going to start talking about some of these concepts when it comes to clearance and now the dark side of clearance. And at one point in time, I needed some latches like this. And I paid full price for them. So when you go into, say, Walmart, Target, or any place, there's these kind of the Amazon resale stores that are popping up, and it's kind of like junk shops where you go in there and they're $9 to start, then they mark them down to $1, $2. So you buy this, and I don't have a need for any of this right now, but I'm like, man, I needed it back then. I might need it again in the future for a project or something. Let me go ahead and buy them. And I have to admit that I have bought more stuff that I needed at one point in time, but I'm like, I'm going to save my $2 or $3 by buying it now and just holding on to it. Well, you end up with a hoarder mentality. You have too much junk in your house. This is part of that problem. There's no need for it, and you don't really know for sure you'll have a need for this in the future, but you're compelled to buy it. That's where you see the dark side of clearance. So next is buying something that's not really what you want. Let's say you want a gold faucet or you want a copper faucet, but you don't have those. So this is what's on clearance, so you make the choice. And then you go through the trouble of installing it, and you've got the wrong color just because you saved a little bit of money. But long term, it's not what you wanted. And so that's another dark side of clearance. Buying it just because it's on clearance. You don't have the choice of what's on clearance. You don't have the choice of what you really want. And I see this all the time. So you've wasted that money, the time and effort to install it, because down the road you really want the color that you want. Or you just don't care what color your faucet is, or if anything matches in your house like that. But I kind of care. I kind of like to go with the same color, which I'm kind of gone with the stainless look. And usually you don't see more of the hip and trending colors like this one going, but it is a higher price, but it's cheaper. Maybe this is one that you want. Maybe this is exactly what you want, and it worked out for you. Possibly, but it usually doesn't work that way. Next up, you're buying something, again, that you don't need, and it's not really that good of a deal. Now, we're not going to quite get into that lady's article, or the article about this lady, just yet, but this is a high price, and do you really need it? It's always nice to have some new cookware. But my wife went out, she bought one saucepan, it was like $35. It's exactly what she needed. And all the other pans she's got work fine. And so $35 we're getting buy, and that was 2 years ago. We haven't needed to buy any more cookware for 2 years because we have everything we need. And we do cook a lot. We cook a lot. Every day is a home cooked meal. So we don't eat out very much, and that's another way to save money and cook at home and those kinds of things. Goal is to try to keep dinner for $4 under $8. It's a challenge, but we do it most nights. And with that, also not spending $110 on some cookware that we don't really need. I'm gonna throw this in. I actually made a video on my other channel, which I've got. That'd be kind of fun talking about what I make on the other channel. That's actually monetized, unlike this one. But this is a corner shelf that I probably could have made work as my corner shelf and just saved me a whole lot of work, but it would have been a little bit more cumbersome and probably not fit as well. I don't know, but for $17.50, I think I spent $13 on all my materials. It might not have been tall enough. I don't know. I'd have to do a little more research, but I thought about getting this just because, but I already took care of that need that I had. I no longer have this corner need anymore. Henceforth, I fought the urge. I almost bought this, taking pictures to tell you why you shouldn't buy stuff on clearance you don't need, and I almost bought it, but I fought off the urge. Now this falls into the category of something that you have all the greatest intentions to inflate your own tires, and for whatever reason, all the gas stations have either started charging for air or just completely shut down their air pumps. I don't know why. It happened almost overnight. I do not know why. And I go into some of them and I ask at the gas stations, why are the air pumps not working? And we understand if it changes management and then they start charging, that's one thing. But when the pumps just completely turned off, shut down, sign on it, it's out of order, and it's like that for now over a year, then the employees don't know. But it's one of those things, it does cost money to maintain those, but most of the time, just go to Walmart, get my air tired up. I can air my own tires up in my front yard if I want to. It's not a problem. But it takes 35 seconds for them to do it at the Walmart, and that's what I usually do. Here's a problem with buying air filters on clearance, and I'm so glad they had these there. It's a great price. What size air filter do you need? Right now, just stop. Do you know what size you need? Is it a 12 by 24? Is it an 18 by 36? What size air filter is the one you don't know? Oh, a 30 by 1 inch? The thing is, most people don't. In all reality, I buy a lot of air filters, and I still can't remember. 24 by 30 by 1. That I know that's not mine. All my numbers are like half that for mine because I have multiple different vents, but which I also have multiple air filters for mine. But it does get great airflow. The thing about it is most people don't know. You end up buying it, it's not the right size. That's one of the problems with buying an air filter. You definitely don't want to cut these down either. Wipers are the same way. You can go in Walmart, look up your wiper size, come back over here and buy them. Wipers have gotten ridiculous expensive. There used to be a $3.88 choice. Let me give you a tip. If your wipers are like smearing, you might just have dirt, debris on it. Inspect your wipers, see if your wipers don't have any cracks in them, and then just take a damp cloth and clean them thoroughly, and then test them. And if they work fine, because 90% of the time they will, if they're not cracked or visibly broken, they'll work fine. It's just dust buildup from being outside, dust, rain, sun, and all that, and then it cakes on there. You just got to clean it 90% of the time. But if that doesn't work after you clean it, then replace them with new ones, and maybe you get a good deal on them. It's not $13, still isn't a great price to me. Cuisinart push chopper. My wife loves the one she has, but do we need another one? No. Is $19 a good price on clearance? I don't know, but we don't need another one. I can tell you that right now. But people buying stuff, this is one of those that you would classify as an impulse buy. Are you really going to use this? Are you going to keep up with the cleaning of something like this? This is probably not the easiest thing to clean in the world, but anyhow, another impulse buy. You don't want to impulse buy on the clearance aisle and be stuck with it cluttering up your house. And you did spend money on it. Just like this Ted Lasso party game. Sounds like a lot of fun. Not to me at all, but $3 doesn't sound like a lot of money. But you buy 100 silly things you don't need on clearance, that adds up to $300 over the course of a year and clutter in your home. Remember that next time you're buying something you do not need on the clearance aisle. And something like this actually, I think this would be a pretty good deal for me. We could store leftover food in it. My wife takes meals to work, so she could take her meals to work in it. Probably should have bought this for her for a birthday or Christmas or something that's coming up. I'm sure she would have liked it. Plus the The lids all match. It's nice and easy. I hate having 6 different types of Tupperware. I'd like to throw it all away and just get one set. That would be a really good thing to do if I found that on clearance. This currently is the season to get yard tools on clearance at the beginning of the clearance season, because we're getting out of needing to mow our lawns. A lot of people's lawns they can't hydrate enough to grow. There's a lot of yellow lawns out there here in Oklahoma, the wasteland of yellow lawns, because it's just hot. It's hot. It's time of year. If you can get it adequately irrigated, then you can have a beautiful green lawn. Anyhow, a lot of people, there's a slowing of demand for these, and they have a lot of product on the shelf, so they're going to start the sales. But this is the beginning of the sale season, the clearance season. They're going to get a little cheaper, I hope. Actually, I think this is a phenomenal deal on a lawnmower that was originally like $300. Now it's $164. Not sure where they got the math on this to get it down to $164, but not a bad deal. So back to this young lady calling out the Walmart clearance aisle, and she's not wrong. I've seen Walmarts all over the place put stuff on their clearance aisle at the normal price, with a clearance tag and the normal regular price. It's like, we want to get rid of it, so let's move it to the clearance aisle, and you're duped into thinking you bought it on clearance. But if you've been shopping and you pay attention to products and prices, then you know it really isn't on clearance. But it's one of those things. It's the dark side of clearance, and Walmart's dark side, where they put stuff over there that's not really on clearance. Then they mark it down 10%. That's not much of a savings. When I'm thinking about clearance, like she said, about half off is what a clearance price should be. And that's how it used to always be. It used to be that you go to clearance aisle, it's like 25% off, then it's half off, then it's 75% off, and then it's what they call salvage. Meaning they send it to what used to be Buds. Buds, you remember Buds from back in the day? Where all the Walmart was their own outlet. It was their own kind of dirt cheap. And I bought a lot of cool toys back in the day when I was a kid. And that was a lot of fun. I still have some of those. But anyway, don't believe it's actually on clearance just because it's on the clearance aisle and has a clearance sticker, because Walmart could be lying to you. Well, let me know what you think about this dark side of clearance, and has it happened to you? Did you buy something that you didn't really need, cluttered up your house and wish you didn't buy it? Or did you buy hundreds of those things and they end up at the garage sale for less than you paid? Let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, Financial Independence out.